Hey guys, how's it going? Cranful back again, and I want to do an interesting topic today, which is the difference between golds, to plats, and diamonds. So currently, I'm already platinum in the white noise season, and my friends have been diamond. So these are tips that we'll use, and I'll give them to you, and maybe they'll help you. These are just some couple differences that I've noticed. All right, so number one, we're gonna go ahead and start off with peeking angles. So let's say you were an attacker, okay? There's a defender holding a tight angle pixel peek, we'll say. If you guys don't know what a pixel peek is, a pixel peek is where someone holds an angle so small that you could barely see a sliver of their head and it's very hard to land the shot. So basically, I've seen people that are golds, they'll go ahead and try and peek the guy on the pixel peek. Now the best option to do this is to get away out of that is simply just rotating and backing off, which is being patient, which is a very strong strength to have in the higher ranks. Being patient will give you the opportunity. Maybe they'll stay there on the angle, or maybe they'll walk away and give you an option to push on forward. But if they don't, that's where you go into the next basically step, which would be to rotate. And rotating is very popular. So let's say they're on the angle watching that direction, and you know another way that you can get to them without them knowing, or by getting them by surprise, or possibly underground vertical play. You could blow it from under them and stuff. So that has to go into a lot of the map knowledge. And so by rotating and stuff, you don't have to keep fighting him. Or if you guys are in a peeking battle and you guys both keep peeking out, you can get away from that and avoid the timing issue. Now the timing issue is like, oh, people will say, oh, I got killed, my timing was so bad. Well, basically the timing could have been avoided earlier. If you simply just walked away, went for a different position or a different enemy to push onto that guy later, then you wouldn't have to worry about that. And a lot of people don't understand that. They'll just go, they want to go straight for that kill, and they have that greediness in them. Or not greediness, but they get tunnel vision to go for it, and they don't worry about their surroundings or anything else around them. Next thing will be droning sometimes. Not a lot of golds are good at droning, but usually like the lower rank ones, not so well. They'll drone a room completely, and then they'll be like, oh, it's clear, and they'll go in. By the time they're droning and someone's going in, someone can rotate into that room simply right as they get off that drone. They could probably hear him get off it, and then they get in. You have to open lines of sight around where you're going to drone. Well, drone it, and then open lines of sight first near the objective that you just droned. And then once you've done that, have someone else, maybe like a teammate or something, watch it for you, and then you drone and he pushes it. It's the best way to push rooms. Now, if you're solo queuing, simply you're gonna have to go onto an angle, and you're gonna have to basically make calls to your team if they're in game chat. But if not, then you're basically gonna have to just go and basically follow an angle where you think the enemy might be, and listen out very carefully, which is where getting a headset comes into play, and communication. That can really help you a long way into getting into those higher ranks. Now, a other reason or difference, I would say, is that you have to know how to counter and strategize in between the operators. Now, of course, a lot of people know how to do this. They'll be like, yeah, bandit can bandit trick thermites and habanas, but there's still like other ways, or how do I say this? Other useful ways how to use the operators, like Ash isn't just for blowing up walls specifically. She could use her Ash charge to blow up lines of sight underground and above, and you got to think about that as you're playing these operators. Don't tunnel vision yourself into doing specific thing. Like if you guys want to get a wall open, you guys have an Ash, simply send the Ash downstairs. If you don't have a buck or anything else, make her blow up underground instead of saving the Ash charges to get a wall somewhere else. She has two anyway, she can still get something else. The next thing would be understanding the recoil of all the operators in the game. Now this might take a while, it might be a little hard. You might have to like practice a little bit, and that's simply practicing your accuracy and stuff in Terrorist Hunt. And your reaction time especially. Your reaction time is very important when it comes to this. So basically, go in Terrorist Hunt, work it out a little bit, get the feel for it and everything. And you have to understand like each recoil pattern. Like Capiteos, that recoil goes in like a circular motion, I would say. So you have to know when you shoot where your next bullet might shoot to. The L8 5A, Thatcher and Sledge's gun. That gun shoots a diagonally slightly to the top right. But it has very good. If you have an ACOG on it, it can do some good accuracy. Have some good accuracy, I mean. So but you have to work with all that and practicing your reaction time, basically, because your reaction time is what can kill you in the end. Next thing, the difference between Plats, I would say, is also using your utilities to the fullest, such as barbed wire is very important, way more important than a nitro cell. If you're running bandit, always run barbed wire. Barbed wire is very good. Slows down the enemies. I know it got nerfed, but it's still very useful. And you get 3 of them, so it slows them down. The bandits, yeah, you might get a lucky kill. I mean the nitro cell, you might get a lucky kill if you're in there, but the barbed wire in the long run is always gonna be better, especially if they're doing a late push, the attacking team. You're gonna have the upper edge on them. Second would be using strategies to increase the gameplay. Simply just running, gunning, and then being like, oh, the enemy's coming here. You guys can set up a strategy during the prep phase. That's what the prep phase is made for. And a lot of people don't use that right. They'll simply go into their roaming position, start roaming. I understand that you want to go ahead and go top frag, you know, play Ash and Jaeger sometimes. And be like, you know, I'm just going to go in and kill everyone. But sometimes you have to be helpful for the team. You got to reinforce. Maybe run a Mira, do some strategies with that. And that'd be very helpful. You know, you always gotta work. I saw a video called Rainbow Six Siege Mains in 1 second, and it's funny because it shows the Thermite, and the Thermite says, well, people who play Thermite are those who don't like to plan, but they want to win. And that was pretty funny, but it's a pretty important message. And if you want to win, you gotta go operators that are helpful to the gameplay itself. Now, also, next I would say was, well, basically let's go ahead and back to the peeking, but let's put you in the defender's position. So the difference between this would be, you know, you holding the pixel peeks as a defender. You can really cut off line of sight on the attacker. It's going to be very hard for you to hit, for the attacker to hit you if you're pixel peeking. And a lot of low ranks don't really do this as much. They'll peek like really high out where their whole body's showing, or their whole head. But if you pixel peek an angle where that's the only way that they can cross, and there's people watching your back, that's the best way to hold it. For example, in one of these videos, I don't know if you saw it or not already, but I'm playing Echo and I'm holding an angle onto a window, and the doc on my team goes on the same angle I am, which you should never do. Never hold the same angle as somebody. But either way, I'm holding a pixel peek, and it's hard for the attackers to hit me, and I end up getting 2 kills off it. And that's very useful. But you also have to keep worried about your surroundings at all times. Always keep making calls and talking to your team, and like, oh, where's the enemy at now? And you have to go ahead and keep following along with that. Never be silent. If you're silent in the game, I understand if you're flanking and you're trying to be quiet, but like if like no one's making calls the whole game, you're most likely gonna lose if the other team is completely doing that. They're gonna call out your positions, call you guys out. You guys need to help each other and back each other up. Like being like, oh, I'm being trapped right here. Now don't yell at your teammates to go ahead and give them orders that you told them to do, because it's gonna make it harder for them to think. And that will scare them up a little bit. You know, just be calm and gentle. Be like, hey Jaeger, can you go ahead and go on this late flank? And then he'll go on the late flank. And if he wants to listen, and if he doesn't, you're gonna get those. If you're playing a random, sometimes it could be a little obnoxious and stuff like that. I get it. You're not always gonna get people like that. But the more you start an argument and stuff, the more it gets heated, and the more likely you are to lose games. And so, basically that's all I have. You guys enjoy.
3v4 situation now. Orange team trying to push the defense.
We're at our tournament on PS4, and we've never played PS4 for the first time. Went to the finals. I'll throw back right here. Hope you guys enjoy the ending. Peace.
Got gunfire. No damage, and there we go. 3v3 situation, 2v2 situation. Kills going up to the right. Orange team low on health. Orange team so low on health right now. Blue team making that push that they really need. Down another man. They're down to their last man. 2v1 situation. Almost no health left for the orange team. And there it is, last kill. Wait a minute.
Attackers are activating the diffuser.
What's this? 1v1 situation? Defense might just make the push that it needs if it gets the kill. This is really intense. Both players just waiting for the other one to make a move. Going back and forth.
Defenders are located.
This is the first time we're finding ourselves in a 1v1 situation. Oh my god. Shot him right through the wall.